I'm Alessandra Barrett, Senior Content Editor for JOC. I'm with Alan Thomas, Chief Strategy Officer for Advent Intermodal Systems. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
You've spoken on our software partnerships panel at the Logistics Technology Conference. Obviously, there are a lot of solutions on the market right now, but no one solution is going to answer everyone's problems in the supply chain issues. Where do you start in trying to figure out what works?
Yeah, I think you have to start at business value. You know, not IT, not compliance, but what really is going to move the needle from a business perspective? What's going to make them relevant? And then starting at those solutions. We're really focused on the port space, providing that cargo visibility and then executional control there. And so we want to align there with partners who can be a bit symbiotic with us and provide that total view. But it's got to be a pretty clear scope to start, and there's got to be some pretty simple business value adds that you're going to define from the start.
So what's the biggest challenge in pulling all of that together?
Change is tough. Everybody fears change. So even starting a project where you try to keep the risk low and the steps pretty simple, there's a fear of change always. Interfaces between partners help streamline this a good bit. But the biggest challenge is typically the start. The fear of change, of how you're doing things, whether it's big company or small. Nobody wants to change.
What makes the most successful partnerships work?
I think it's being symbiotic. It's having that symbiotic relationship where both partners are going to they're going to grow together, and they're going to have some mutual benefit if things go well. That's what we always look for, trying to fill the role that best suits us and our core competencies, and at the end of the day, making sure that that everybody's going to benefit and grow in the partnership as it unfolds.
What do you tell customers that are facing a pretty strong fear of change within their organization?
It's adapt and change or die, really. I mean, as fast as things are moving in the technology space and the logistics space, you can't remain status quo. So I think the risk of doing that is far greater than trying new projects. We like to focus on, again, low risk value that we can produce, whether directly with a customer or in a couple of weeks, some value in a short period of time. So the risk of failure is really low. And we like to start with that and then grow from there, again, within the partnership or directly with the end customer on continuing to add value and staying relevant as their business changes.
Now, the industry is changing extremely quickly compared to the last decade or so. What do you expect it will look like in the next 5 years, say?
5 years is tough. I think
10.
I think 5 to 10 years, I think we all know how automated this flow is going to be, that from a shipper's perspective, there will be no black holes. There'll be systems talking to systems, and terminals will be automated, and who knows if self-driving trucks will take hold or not. But there'll be clear visibility and predictive visibility, and I think on how cargo needs to move based on what's occurring from the shelf all the way back to the distribution center and the depots and the ports. So it'll be a more integrated and seamless process where systems are talking to systems and people are just managing the exceptions. Right now, it obviously doesn't work that way everywhere, but that's the biggest change. We try to work backwards from that, from this blue sky vision of how things are going to be, and try to fill in the gaps where we can. And again, our focus is the port space. What can we do to provide that container and port level visibility? How can we ensure the security and efficiency of these operations where they interface the truckers and the shippers? And then eventually, how can we enable those same stakeholders to take executional control of their cargo and dynamically shift it as their businesses change?
Well, thanks for taking time to sit down with me today.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I've been speaking with Alan Thomas, Chief Strategy Officer for Advent Intermodal Systems.